Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday, so it's time for me! Joys! Yeah, so this week we're going to be discussing materialism and kind of our views on materialism, so enjoy! And feel free to join in the thing and the what you call them. So, I personally wouldn't consider myself over materialistic. I tend to want things I need rather than just because it's cool. I mean, for instance, I've got my computer. That's more of a necessity than anything else. It's what I do all my university work. It's what I use to research certain things like brain surgery and whatnot, because brains are awesome, and that's kind of what I want to go into later on in life. As you can see, I've got posters over here. Some of them have been signed by movie stars. Some of them, like that one, was there we go. That was drawn by the guys who actually do Cyanide and Happiness, and that's drawn for me by them, so that's kind of cool. I've got giant wall posters here and here because two of my particular favourite animes. This obviously goes from the show on that. The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. There we go, I can pronounce that relatively fast. Other things, like a fridge, a freezer, a cooker. Not necessarily a microwave, but I've got one of those as well, because there was a point at which was technically homeless. So I lived in a hostel where didn't exactly have a cooker, so I had a microwave. Good times. A lot of other things that I've got, like models. I've got on my desk here a cloud thing from Final Fantasy VII. I've got a mini Tachikoma here, which, you know, is a rare one, but it's a 1 in 1,000 metal replicant thing. And of course I've got things like, all things falling off, I apologise, but I've got things like my phone, and I've got things like my mug. Generally not necessary for me, but things like this. I saw it while I was up in Scotland. Granted, it's not a great memento of Scotland, because Guinness, you think Ireland and whatnot, but couldn't resist it. You know, it's not necessary, but it is a mug which I can keep filled with pretty much any fluid that I want, and it lasts a while. It's a good half-litre mug, so, well, just over half a litre, so. Other things, I've got books and pictures and all sorts. These aren't necessary, but they tend to, I wouldn't say they bring me happiness. The books certainly bring me happiness because they can let me go into a world of my own. I say of my own, anyone that reads the books, you get the picture. But generally, I only would buy things that are necessary. So, as I say, my computer, I personally would consider that necessary. With the internet access, which is apparently now a human rights thing, we're now meant to have the internet. It's within our rights, which is interesting in itself, but that I'd consider necessary. A fridge and a freezer, generally very necessary. Otherwise you're just eating from day to day, and generally it's not good food. Other things which you may consider materialistic is things like, my cat might kill me for this, but things like this little shitbag, Data. Yeah, good boy. I don't need a cat, but I have 2 of them because they make me happy. And I guess that's pretty much what materialism boils down to. I mean, it would be nice to have lots and lots of money so you could buy whatever the fuck you want. Like, say, Iron Man, the character Iron Man. Several $billion it takes to have all of that kind of stuff, which I guess it makes him happy, but for me, I'd be happy with a reasonable wage. I say reasonable, something like £32,000 a year. Reasonable, with inflation and whatnot. So you can buy the things you want and you're comfortable. I don't want excessive amounts of money. I mean, I don't see the point in excessive amounts of money. What are you going to do with it? If you've got children and stuff, great, you can put it into, say, their education, which is pretty much what I would buy for them, but everything else, meh. But things like Yasmin said, without my computer, for one, I wouldn't know any of you at all. I know Yaz through the interwebs and known her for a bloody long time now. We'll go with that because I can't think off the top of my head. So, but other little things like I collect Warhammer, and a lot of it's unpainted at the moment, as you can see. But I actually spend a lot of my time with a friend, just sitting down, having cups of tea, painting, with a movie on in the background, and it's nice and social. It's a good form of therapy. It's relaxing. It also steadies my hand, which I'll need later on for when I practice surgery and am a doctor, which the thought may frighten you, but again, I'm not very materialistic, but there are things which I would consider necessary to live. Things like a house, or just generally a roof over your head. When you're, I would say, in a not so good state, when you have a roof over your head, that's pretty much all you care about at that point. Some food and a roof over your head to keep you warm and relatively safe. Yeah, generally, I think that's taught me generally a lot, especially as I don't come from a very wealthy background. Generally scrimping and scraping. Is that the word? I don't know. But scraping, yes, scrimping and scraping to, carry on living. It's not a great life, but there you go. So generally, I'm alright with some levels of materialism, but not excessive. Yeah, that's pretty much my views on that. So, see you next week with whatever we plan to do. Bye bye.